Hey everyone. I hope everyone is having an amazing day. It is your girl Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. I have not been live in quite some time. So I am here now to talk to you. Um, and I'm just hoping that those that chime in and watch it live with me, hey, and those who are watching it on the replay, hey, some more. So, let's have a conversation about stepping out on faith, getting off that fence that you might be on right now. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration. I'm an inspirational speaker, lifestyle strategist, author of Transition to a Healthier You and Dear Single in Love, 8 Principles for the Woman Waiting for Her God Ordained Purpose Made. Now, those books are found on Amazon. Transition to a Healthier You is currently just an ebook, but Dear Single in Love is an ebook and a physical copy. So you can get either one. I am currently offering, and for those of you that are on Facebook, you'll probably see it, and I will make sure that it will appear on YouTube. I'm offering a coaching special, but we're going to talk about that more at the end. But share, like, comment, let's engage in this conversation because it is one that does need to be had a lot more often than others. So, yeah, let's just dive into it. So, for many of you, you may or may not know, I recently relocated to Tulsa, Oklahoma. I know, right? Who leaves New York City to go to Tulsa? This girl here. She did. And I can honestly say to you, it's one of the best decisions that I made, right? And I say that because I often hear people say, well, why didn't you go to Atlanta, to Charlotte? The one thing that I had to do for myself is that I had to go where it resonated with me. And that's something that I think many people are not doing self-reflections before they're taking these big leaps. So you have some people who are just moving quick, and then some people who are sitting on the fence. So this conversation and this message is for those of you that are sitting on the fence. If you're sitting on the fence about a decision, you want to move somewhere, you want to apply for a new job, you want to shoot your shot at something, and you don't know, you're sitting on that fence. I want to encourage you to take that leap, right? But before you take that leap, it's time for you to really do some self reflection. When we self reflect, we can ask ourselves all of these questions. We can really deep dive into getting to know ourselves because, a lot of times we think we know what we want, but until you really start realizing a lot of the things that we want or that we tell ourselves that we want are really things that have been planted within us from society, school, family, friends. It's not really our own thoughts, right? So if you have gotten to that point where you're just trying to like sort out, is this what I want or is this what I've been told that I want, right? Like the American dream. We all have been told about the American dream, but some people have realized that doesn't suit them and their desires. And a lot of them, when I hear those people speak and they talk about that, they've done a lot of self reflection. So before they jumped and made the decision, they had to sit back and figure out. And that is exactly what I did. From 2021 to 2023, I literally sat back and I had to figure out, Tanisha, what is it that you want? How can you get off this fence? Because I've been on this fence of not wanting to be in New York since 2015. This has been a desire. It's been burning. It's been like literally killing me physically, emotionally, spiritually, because it's not a place that I wanted to be in. So how do you make that kind of decision when one, this is pretty much the only place that you know, the only place that you live. You visit other places, but you always know like this is a vacation. I know that this is not where I'm going to stay forever. How do you transition that mindset from the vacation mode, making sure you go back home? And most of us, we go back home, and that's why when you hear people say, I need a vacation from a vacation, if you are honest with yourself, a lot of times you need a vacation from your vacation because you're going back into an environment that does not resonate with you. I'm going to say that again. A lot of times you need a vacation from your vacation, especially when you're physically going somewhere else, because you are going back into an environment that does not resonate with you. And so if this environment does not resonate with you, no, it doesn't matter if you go on one vacation a month, one vacation a year, 10 vacations a month, you're always going to feel like I have to like kind of get my energy back so that I can go back to this environment that no longer resonates with me. So what I did was in 2021, I remember I was like traveling a lot. I was going to many places, and that was because I was working remote. So in that remote world, it kind of gave me that flexibility to, hey, let me go visit this place. Rest in peace, Michelle, my sister's best friend, Michelle. They live out in northern New Jersey. I will go out to northern New Jersey quite often just to kind of get that reset because I'm just trying to figure out like the city life is not for me. Maybe up here will be a little bit better. Now, I definitely felt like I could do that, right? It was a place that was definitely, it was calming to my spirit, it was calming to my soul. I was able to hear the birds, right? And it started to make me realize that nature was very important for me. So, with nature being important to me, that started to give me ideas of maybe not being in a big metropolitan city is for me. So then I started to go to Atlanta, right? Let me go spend some time in Atlanta. Absolutely did not speak to me. Atlanta was absolutely on that list of this is not for me. And then I just kept on going to different places. And then I started to extend my time in these different places. I'm just telling you how I went through this process because, again, I got on that fence of do I stay? Do I go? Where do I go? And I got stuck at the where do I go? Because I was already ready to go, but I just didn't know where to go. So I stayed on that fence for a lot longer because I just didn't know where to go. And because of the people that were around me, and there's no shade to them, but I'm listening to where they're going. I'm listening to what they're thinking about. And so now I'm doing their same research instead of saying and stepping back and saying, hey, is this going to be good for me? Because it sounds great for them. Like I know someone who moved to Atlanta and they're thriving. There amazing things are happening. Doors are opening up. Opportunities are opening up, and that is great for them. But I had to realize, is that someplace that's for me? So when I really did some self-reflecting, and I'm just like, what is important to me? Nature. I needed to be as close to nature as possible. And I know for everyone, it's like, well, we're all in nature. We are absolutely in nature. But what is important to you? Having access to grass, right? So I had to like get really deep. I had to start like, asking myself all these questions because everyone made the assumption, oh, you're going to move to Florida. You're going to move someplace with water because I started to tell myself, oh, I love the ocean. So I have to be near the ocean. So I was creating this narrative. And that was going to lead me somewhere that I probably was not going to resonate with either. So I really was just like, dag, like, so nature's important. I need grass. I need to be able to sit and just be outside. See, you see how you're able to have certain conversations and it's not indicating any location. I'm just showing and I'm just starting to identify what was important to me and what was it that was going to add fuel to me, that was going to give me energy. See, a lot of us, we don't realize that some places deplete you. Some places when you can't do anything after work because you're already depleted. And that's even working from home. Remember, I've been working from home full time since 2021. I wasn't doing anything in New York. I wasn't. After work, I'm logging off and I'm tapped out. So when I say like you have to start doing all of that little bit of just the very minimum work, like, so what do I need? And that I'm just giving you the example of me taking the leap and how I ended up in Tulsa. Like I said, many of you are on the fence about so many different things. If you're trying to make a decision about, well, is it time for me to leave this job? Am I supposed to leave? Before you start applying to the next job, you need to start identifying what is it that I need for this position in order for me to be at peace, right? If that is important to you, because some of y'all, peace might not be important, right? Money might be the only thing that is important to you. And I'm going to tell you this. If you follow this strategy of identifying what is it that I need before you start to apply, I guarantee you the money that you need is going to definitely come. But you have to really start to point out when I started. So I was looking for like a little contract. I do contract work. And I'm like, I remember one time I was like, I need an easy contract, a contract that I'm going to be able to learn something new. I am not going to be micromanaged, and someplace that I literally like they're okay with my lifestyle choice of me packing up my laptop and going somewhere else. And I literally put that out there. I prayed and I was like, God, this is what I need. I didn't put any attachment to salaries because that was not the main priority. And everything that I wanted, everything that I needed, I was presented. And then the money came with that. And so people were like, well, dang, like it seems like because from the outside looking in, some people will be like, oh, well, like you don't do no work. No, because I got what I asked for. I don't have stressful jobs. I don't have a job that's gonna be sitting here having me pull out my head. Oh my gosh, these people are stressing me out. Oh my gosh, my boss. I don't have that because before I commit to anything, I figure out what it is that I need and I put that out there and I pray on it. And then I just continue to do the work of me applying. And I don't apply for everything. I apply for what is in alignment. And again, you don't know about environments. So this is why that also you can't determine that based off a job description. But I guarantee you, if you apply to things that's going to tap into your gifts, your skills, right, your natural abilities, and to find a position that's going to align with that, everything else is going to fall into place. But you also have to pay attention to when your body is telling you, this ain't it. And I'm gonna tell y'all what happened. I think the ending of 2022, December 2022, I had applied for this director position at a college in New York City. And so it was like a director of online learning. It sounded like a great job. I'm like, I can do this. Went through the interviews, and I'm listening to like this is sounding like one is going to be a huge task, a huge job. They're not going, I don't have any support. They don't really know what's going to happen. That means that I'm really starting from the ground and I have to build up. So I was like, okay, is this something that I can do? Yes. Is it something that I want to do? And that was where I was already on that fence of like, I don't think so. So finally had the last interview with I think he was the vice president of academics or something like that. Very nice gentleman. And this man even coached me on how to ask for the salary that he was like, I know what they put, but yeah, I'm gonna need you to bring this on up. And I appreciated that. So they offered me the job. And I remember when we was on Zoom, and I don't know if he read my body language, but that was one of the slowest yes that I ever said in my life. And it was just like because my gut was saying no. And I'm going to say that again. It was a very slow yes. And my gut was saying no. And so when I did decline the position because it just it did not align with my lifestyle. Because my lifestyle at the time was I did not want to be in New York. So trying to taking a position that was going to require me to stay in New York 365 days. That means the only time that I can travel was when I had PTO. That didn't sit well with me. They wanted me to come into the office every single day. Y'all know, anyone who knows me from New York, y'all know I don't do the subway. Y'all know that I don't want to sit in traffic. And I was going to have to spend extra money to take the express bus to give myself that extra piece. And when I realized that wasn't enough, even what they were talking about, it was well in the six figures, it was not enough. And I remember having conversations with someone, and that person was like, and they said this exact words, and I still love that person. They was like, yo, you stupid for not taking that job. Because I would have, what you would have done and what I would have done are two different things. Because I've sat down and I've done a lot of work to realize what it is that I need. And again, if I'm already on the fence about being in New York and not wanting to stay here, and I'm still trying to figure out where am I going to go, how is it taking this position going to help me make that decision? Right? It wasn't. So I now I had to step back, and now I got to start taking some real inventory. And I'm glad that that happened to me, because it continues to prove that God is going to continue to guide you. He's going to order your steps. He's going to guide you on this journey. He's going to take you on the best journey. It's not going to be a horrible journey. It's going to be the best journey, because you're going to learn about yourself. You're going to learn about what it is that you need. Bola said, alignment is key. Alignment is the one of the top priority things. But you have to know what that is for you. This is the reason why one of the first things that I did when my sister sent me this video, my sister sent me the video about Tulsa, right? About Tulsa Remote. My sister sent me the video. And when she sent me that video, I watched it, and I went on the website, because I had went to their website. I think the first time I probably saw it was like 2020, and they were not accepting applicants. So when I went on the website and I saw that they were accepting applicants, I was like, I didn't call my best friend. I didn't call my mom. I didn't call my sister. I sat there and I talked to God. And I said, God, I don't know. Tulsa? Oklahoma? Are you sure about this? Because I'm from New York, because again, we create these narratives. That's not what we do. The people from New York City, like, we from the best city in the world. We don't go to states like Oklahoma. We don't do that. That's the narrative that we are. That's embedded in us. Mm-mm. So when I sat there and I had such a peace, and I could just feel like, yes, applying. And I remember asking God, if this is where you want me to go, I need you to make this as seamless as possible. And when I say to you, if he did not make it seamless, okay, they told you at the end of the application, it could take up to 4 weeks to hear back from us. It can take up to 4 weeks. It took them 2 days to get back to me. 2 days. Here's the link. Please, schedule an interview. 2 days? Okay. So it's going to guarantee you, it's going to take me, when I go to the calendar for the interview, they're probably not going to have any availabilities until next month, the following week. Okay, guys. Had the interview. All right, you'll have an answer within 2 days, 48 hours. And I was like, 48 hours? There's no way. 48 hours, I got the call. I got the email. And I was just like, all right, guys, you are definitely, you out here playing games, because this is really like, it feels good, and that's one thing I want you to, how does that body feel? Because God sometimes will speak to you through the sensations in your body. What does that feel? What does that gut? Because I'm telling you, when I reflect on the moments when my gut was punching like, don't you dare do it, and I did it, it wasn't a good outcome. So literally, this whole process was just quick. Came out here. Next week will actually be a year that my sister and I came out here for the hosted visit. And when I say to you, when I got that rental car and I got in that car and I got on that highway, it just was a peace. It was like, this is what you have been waiting for. You want this level of calm. And when some people hit me up, they're like, is it real? Like, are you really enjoying yourself? Like, are you really happy with your decision? Absolutely. Because one of the best things that I did was I took the leap. I had to take the leap in order to know. So many times we sit on that fence and we're just looking, right? And if you've been following me for a while, you probably have always heard me give this analogy, right? Where you're on the fence, and like on the left side of the fence is the life that you're already living. You're familiar with that life. You know what that life is, right? You know what the outcome is going to be, right? But then that right side, God is giving you a glimpse of what it could be. He's giving you a glimpse of what's about to come. He's only giving you a glimpse, but you are not familiar with that, so you don't even take the consideration. A lot of us just get off the fence and go back to the left side. You don't even give it a chance, because guess what? It's better to take a chance and fail than to not take a chance at all. There are so many people out here who are sitting on business ideas. They're sitting on opportunities for businesses, opportunities in different countries and different cities and different states, and you're not taking it because you are afraid to get off that fence. You're afraid to take that leap because you don't know, well, what if I fail? But guess what? I'm not being funny, but how successful are you where you are today? How happy are you where you are today? If you're not at your happiest, if you're not the most successful person, then guess what? What is it going to really risk if you take a chance? Because you could take that chance and you could be very successful. You could see huge outcomes out of this. And then you can also take that same chance and you will not be successful. At least you have data now, and with this data, now you can sit here and make another step and take another decision and say, okay, you know, New York wasn't it. This isn't it. So let me go somewhere else. And then you just keep moving forward. There is a book, dag, and it's over there. There is a book. It's called The Dream Giver. There's a part in that book. I read that book for the first time in 2016. The Dream Giver is by Bruce Wilkinson. In that book, there is a part of it that talks about the champion, right? The champion is the person who has already gone forth and they have already done what it is that you're thinking about doing. You have to find those champions and surround yourself with those champions. And if you listen to the right champion, that person is going to tell you the pros, the cons. They're going to tell you the good and the bad. Because guess what? Every time we take a step, we have a chance of failing. We have a chance of something going wrong. I cannot tell you, moving to Tulsa has not been perfect. It hasn't. I would say here, I would be a fool if I sat here and lied to you and said, oh, yes, perfect. It's not perfect. But guess what? At the end of the day, do I have peace? Absolutely. Am I calm? Absolutely. Do I feel safe? Absolutely. Even when we have the tornado warnings, I still feel safe. And you want to know why I feel safe when when those tornado warnings happen? Because I understand that at the end of the day, God is still the author of all of our lives. There's nothing I can do. All I can do is just take the precaution, right? So the first time that I slept through the tornado warning and the sirens. I slept peacefully that morning, and people were like, well, how didn't you hear it? Because guess what? When I told God that I was going to follow and going to just be obedient and just come here and just do what he tells me to do and order and follow those steps and just be obedient, that also means that I can't sit here and live in the land of fear, right? I can't sit here and do that because he's the author. He told me to do this. He told me to take this leap. I literally could still be in New York. And guess what? I would not be happy. I would not have joy. I would not have peace. I would not have the vitamin D levels that I have. Yeah, look, y'all understand. Y'all see how chocolate, and I mean, because it's the lightning, so you probably can't tell the difference. But I'm darker than I was because I be outside, y'all. I be outside, I sit in the front, I sit in the back, but that adds to my joy. But I want you to figure out, what does that look like for you? What is it that you need to ask yourself? What decision are you sitting on that fence about and you're afraid to make a decision? What is it? And how can I help you to get off that fence? Because at the end of the day, that's really what it is. I'm a champion that has gone through something tremendous. And I have, you know what I mean, even how I got here. I had to drive by myself. You know, it was fresh. I went to the doctor a couple of weeks ago, 2 weeks ago. And one of the things that came up, and that it was a very honest, pure honest conversation with my new doctor. And one of the things that I said to her was, you know, sometimes I get frustrated with God because I'll be like, God, why are you always taking me the hard way? Like so many other people, you know, they're able to get someone, oh, this person can drive you, you know, or here it is, the car can be shipped for $800. And instead of me, I'm getting quoted $2,000 to drive my car from New York to Oklahoma. Like, really? My homeboy was supposed to drive me here. I won't say he lied, but he ain't hold up his he didn't keep his word. Let's just put it that way. And so I still had to get in that car and reduce all of that fear. Like I had to be like, look, I had to take that I-80 from New York all the way over and then come down. I forgot the intersection, the interstate that I went from St. Louis down to Tulsa. But whatever it was, I had to do that by myself because that's going to be a part of the story. Because someone who was thinking right now, you're sitting there like, I want to move, but I can't move because you're telling yourself that you can't move. Just like I told myself that I can't move, right? My therapist, we had a whole long conversation about that in 2022. 2022, this is when it first came up. If you guys don't remember, I had went to Myrtle Beach for a month. And I remember talking to my therapist like maybe that May or June prior to me making the decision of going. And my therapist was like, what are you afraid of? Like, why do you feel like you can't leave? Why do you feel as though that, and I told her all of these reasons why I can't leave because of this. I can't leave because of that. And she was like, excuses, a narrative that you created. You're put in this bondage. No, you're put in the limitations. And she debunked every single thing that I was spilling to her. And then she made me realize these are the narratives that you have created to keep yourself in a place that you do not resonate with. What? So how do I overcome this? Detach yourself from this. And one of the biggest things was I became afraid to drive on the highway. How do you survive anywhere outside of New York City not driving on the highway? It's close to impossible. So that was the reason why that Myrtle Beach trip was actually very imperative. And I do believe that it was God's way of saying, I got to get you to break away. I got to get you because where I'm going to take you in this next season is going to be twice as long and twice as far away as Myrtle Beach was. And I had to get in that car by myself and drive to Myrtle Beach. And I was there for a month. And that was actually the breaking point. That was the first step for me taking this leap. I just didn't know that. Do you understand when we say that scripture, like you have to walk by faith? We have to take that first step. You don't know. I didn't know what in 2022, I left the end of September of 2022 to take that trip to Myrtle Beach. I had absolutely no clue what was going to come in June of 2023. I had no clue. So imagine if I never took that trip in 2022. I would probably still be somewhere unhappy, not thriving. And I'm going to be honest, the reason why I haven't been doing a lot of content and going live because I've been outside. I've been enjoying myself here. It's very easy for me to go out here. So it's not like someone said, oh yeah, you don't go live, you don't talk about your experience because I'm enjoying where I'm at. Like Tulsa Remote alone, they throw events. And then I'll just go out and find things to do. I'll be on Eventbrite. My homegirls like, oh, did you see this? Oh, did you hear about that? Let's go here. Let's go check out that. So I've been outside. That's the only reason why. I was like, look, let me go live today because I'm going to go out later. And I had to push myself because God has been speaking to me like, no, you got to go back to doing this content too. So I got to find balance and I got to find a way to do both of them because there are people out there who need this. Some of you have already reached out to me, whether it's in DMs, a lot of the people that are trying to make the decision, do I want to move to Tulsa? Is this a good idea for me? Some people have been like, I became one of the people that when they come for the hosted visit, I try to make myself available at those events because I do understand that there are people on social media, they're looking for people like me that have taken a step to one, confirm if this is even real. Do they really pay you $10,000? And then two, you also have people who just want to know, like, is it possible that this is a good move for me? Because I can't tell you if it's going to be a good move for you. I can just share my experience and give you tips on how to thrive here the best of my ability to what I know thus far. I guarantee you, in 2 years, I could probably give you 10 times more. But at the end of the day, I just want us all to be and live the life that is meant for us. I want us to all to live the life that is meant for us. We have to detach from everything that we were taught. And we're not saying that our parents were wrong, our teachers were wrong, right? I'm not saying that. But they only can give you what they knew. And because we have access to social media, to the internet, to blogs, right? You got to kind of go through, you got to weed through the noise because there's a lot of noise out there. Every one person like me, there's 15 with negative comments. So you have to also be very intentional in how you're going to navigate this, because if you're going to find your champion who has done this, you have to be open to everyone so that you can start to say, oh, nope, I can't listen to this. Like, you're just talking a whole bunch of crap, whole bunch of negativity. You're not speaking my language. No. And then you got to find those people. That's the only reason why I make myself available, because I do understand this is a scary decision. The same way I'm preparing for other parts of my life, I have found those people already. I've connected with those people because I have to prepare for the next step. Because all I know is God is like, oh, we still got more work to do. This is just only the beginning. And I understand that. But I also understand while I'm here, I still have to help those who are now taking that step. And that's the only reason why I do what I do. So when I went back to coaching, because I had stopped coaching for a while, because I had to coach myself. I had to coach myself in one, how do I continue to thrive in an environment that no longer resonates with me? That's actually like just giving me the goosebumps of thinking about it. But I had to figure out how to do that. Then I had to, when 2023 came, by the time June hit, things were just going crazy. My cousin was murdered last year. And that was devastating to my family. Then finding out the possibility of me moving to Tulsa, and quickly I just made a decision, like, I think I said no, by November 10th I was going to be in Tulsa. And everyone was like, oh, but they give you a year. Me and God confirmed, and we agreed on by November 10th. I think I moved here, let me just confirm, it had to be November 4th. November 4th. Let me just confirm that. November 3rd. November 3rd was the date. The second was the day that I left. And I got here November 3rd. No games. No games. Right? So I'm not going to make this long, but I do encourage you, if you are looking to take the next leap and you're like, look, I need guidance. I don't know how to make these decisions. I don't know what I should do. I can't tell you what to do, but I can guide you through that process. And so, for those of you that are on Facebook, you should see it already. And for those of you who are on, so here it is. So I'm going to put this link, and it is very limited. I only have space for 7 new people, but I am offering opportunities to help those who want to create the lifestyle that's meant for them, that's going to give them the life that they truly desire. Okay. So if that is something that resonates with you, and you're like, look, I'm ready to take this step. I'm ready to take this leap. I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of feeling stuck. I'm tired of creating this narrative. And I'm tired of living on terms that people told me that I have to live. Then I'm here to tell you, you don't have to, right? You don't have to. You definitely have the choice. You can start making changes. So this will be shared in the comments on all the platforms. This is on right now. This is live on Facebook, on both my Facebook pages and my YouTube channel. So you would definitely see this offer. And once this offer has reached its max, it will be reopened again after in September, because I'm gonna just work through August, and then my birthday's happening. So I'm gonna be excited. So I'm gonna take off 2 weeks in August, and I love my clients, but yes, I will be taking some time away so that I can celebrate my 40th. But so if you don't sign up, if you don't get the opportunity to work with me with this offer, this will be reopened up again in September. So look out for that information. But again, I am Tanisha Shanae, Miss Inspiration, and I hope you guys have an amazing day. Again, share this message, like it, comment, so that it can help someone else. You never know how this can be a blessing to someone in their journey. But at the end of the day, get off that fence, and it's time for you to take whatever leap you need to take. I want you to take it. Bye, guys. Have a good one.